Hello everyone, my name is Yuta Jess, and we are going to continue with some tarot videos this week. Um, this one is about what are you not expecting? Yes, correct. What are you not expecting? I think that's it. If it's not, that's the reading right now. So what is not expected by you to happen, to become, what timeline you're on, maybe something there, there's like some information ahead, or ahead of you that you are okay to be privy to. In general, like, yeah, self-explanatory, right? There's not really too much to freaking say or explain here. Um, could be positive, or slightly in a way negative messages, and I don't mean negative as in bad, but as in like you might hear something you don't expect as a, warning or as a positive and support. So depending on where you're at, we'll see what happens. If you feel uncomfortable with the messages, just don't listen to them. That's about it. What are we picking the piles with? I guess we're picking with this. Monster Garden cards, please go support. Um, yeah. Also good price for the cards. I kickstarted them, so I was kind of surprised to see like they are now 22 bucks, so that's kind of cool. That's quite cool. They do feel thin. They do feel kind of thin. If anyone's kind of wondering on them, they don't feel like usual cards, I guess, in a way. But they're good. They're good quality still. Definitely worth the price. So yeah, let's get to it. 5 piles this time around. Oh, look at that. Well, almost all of them up, right? Most of them. That's good. And depending on the card, right? Not checking top and bottom, just having these here. All right. If you want to pause, do that now to have your pile selection. Keep rolling. If it's covered, that is better for you. I'm gonna start flipping them over. We have poetry, uninhibited intuition, the unknown, uh, revolution, all for one, ready, and observer, asking questions, collecting data. So yeah, depending on which one you want, go ahead and choose it, pick it. Um, we're gonna get right into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See you in your pile. Hello, pile number one. Poetry and Uninhibited Intuition is your card. I don't quite remember this being. Someone did explain to me how this being works. I can't I can't really remember. Um, Also, I don't know how the being themselves looks to me. I don't know. I'm assuming she's the poet. I really don't know. I really don't know. That being said, uh, the thing that I got with this is like you don't expect some type of poetic justice occurring. Not that it's going to really matter for you because it's the universe balancing out its own scales of justice. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you without with you doing something, right? When other people receive karma, it's not necessarily something to rejoice over, but you might find solace or peace over it, right? And that's fine, but it's a slippery slope if you're going to rejoice over other people's downfall, unless, it's people that really, I guess, deserve it for malevolent actions or certain types of like heinous crimes or other things, right? There's a level of where it's acceptable and understandable, but there's another level of it where it's just dangerous because you never know where you're gonna end up in life. And I think someone is basically tasting that truth of like if they mocked you, if they said you could do better or should be working harder or like diminishing your pain or your misfortune or otherwise just maybe like having a lot of luck at in a way like your expense or in a way by shadowing you too, like casting a shadow over you, maybe even intentionally rejoicing over it or taking pride in such a thing, you're going to see them kind of eating their words, is how it's coming across. Someone's going to have to sit and deal with their own consequences that they've created for themselves, and they will really remember how they judged you when you were having a certain amount, like, I don't know, a certain period of like your life, or you were having a certain amount of bad luck, maybe something that was just challenging and wasn't working for your highest good. So. Yeah, you're going to really stand out during this time. You're going to actually like really catch a lot of people's eyes. Everyone's going to possibly like have a little bit of a question for you of like, what would you recommend? How did you reach success? How do you achieve certain goals or results? And um, how are you feeling? Like, what would you recommend me? And also some of them, some people are randomly just gonna catch up with you and bring you news about these people that you're gonna be like, oh, really? They got a bit of like bad luck, huh? Huh. Oh, okay. So you might have just some experiences like that, basically. You're also going to be out of reach for these people. You will be actually like mystifying a bit the crowd around you, but also especially these people. You will be like yeah, you're going to be a mystified topic for them. You're going to be out of reach and kind of in your own dreamscape. You're going to be like in the clouds, and obviously people outside the cloud will not be able to actually like have anything at you. There's good messages coming in the future, like from this period as well. Like something about this occurring is gonna create this like ripple bounce effect of something being launched in the universe. So it comes back to you again in about, I don't know, 3 years' time. I know that's a big long escape and it doesn't necessarily matter seeing it that far in the future, but I'm just calling out what I'm seeing. You might reflect back on this period, look at the photos and other things, and just connect the dots of how the arc, the cycles have connected in and how it's looped into the future, whatever the future result is going to be. I don't know what you're setting up. Maybe it's like relevant for you to know because of the seeds you're planting or the perseverance you're currently exercising or just how changing the landscape has become, like how stuff is just, kind of shifting. Mm, Take a look at some like documents or contracts if you can. Make sure that everything is up to date. Make sure you have all of the documentation you need and check over the fine print where you feel like you need to spend that time. Yeah, it might be a bit annoying, but it's better to do that now rather than regret it later. And some of you, I don't know, some of you need to meditate on the Akash. I don't know what you need to learn about your past lifetimes and how they relate to this one or something about this one, but there's something you need to like actually read over in the Akash and you will not like it. It's just one or two meditation sessions with a journaling session followed. It's worth it. It's better to be done, especially if you've been avoiding something like that and you've known that you need to do that or you've been called to have such experiences. Keyword, Akashic records, libraries, stuff like that has really been coming through in your readings or divination or otherwise, and you've just been like, oh, I don't need to do any of that. I've already done plenty. So that's calling someone out for some damn reason. Oh shit. Well, that's a great exchange. Okay. Well, great exchanges while having some unwanted attention on your stuff as well. So you're literally putting down the burdens and swapping that stuff out for actual like affluence, abundance, prosperity, leisure, freedom, liberation, and the opportunity to do as you wish and as you want and have the resources to experience yourself to the fullest. Have your life actually like, you know, kind of be vibrant and for you to feel like you're living, actually. Like you're setting stuff up. You could be moving for some of you if you expect that to be the case. And if it's not that, then you might just have improvement in your life in general, either maybe a promotion at work or or a job change or whatever you've been working towards is going to actually have rewards, like a financial profit of some sort that can set you off or on for long-lasting stability of some sort. Um, yeah, it's kind of like gonna make multiple things click in together. It feels like if there's one thing you've needed to just like work out so you can start investing into other areas of your life, that's gonna start happening as well. Um, I think you're gonna need to let go of some people and things. Other stuff that's still kinda in the air or people expect you to show up to, but you've said like no, you've cut that down, or you've said to yourself like I can't keep investing in this because it's not going anywhere anyway. Like this isn't important actually. People will just expect this to work out and for me to be present, but I don't think I should be doing that. There's gonna be some conversation there, but I don't feel like any of it is negative or bad. Like maybe some people are gonna be upset, but some of them will need to just like be axed out of your life, and others are just gonna like voice like, "Aw, like, oh, I'm a little bit upset because, or a decent amount of upset because I thought we were really gonna make this work, but I guess I just need to keep living my life, and I'll be upset and then I won't in about a week or a month. Like it's gonna redirect them, but they just might, voice their emotions and feelings, and they are temporary. It's not a bad thing. So. But besides that, you are going to have some people that are going to cause some issue in competition. Some of them are going to see that you're like feeling better or something and are going to try and give you like their burdens to carry, get your attention somehow in general, kind of like get into your life or inner circle, or pitch you ideas or ask for help. Recommendation is coming through, don't do that. They will drag you down. They're unnecessary. Um, Ambitions and actions that have nothing to do with where you're going or what you are achieving. And if you don't want to feel anxious, overburdened, or like it's crowded in your life, just let them do what they're going to do because literally they're creating competition for you as well as like strife and stretching you out thin when they need to sort their shit out. Um, some people are literally fighting each other in the astral to stay in your life currently because they're like, is there an open spot? If there is, like, move, bitch, get out of the way. I'm going to be the person that is actually in their good graces, and you are not, and I'm going to tarnish your name. And there's multiple people like that, and from what I'm seeing, each and every one of them is just as bad as the other. Some of them are or seem like really good personalities or characters, but if you just don't engage, if you let the cards fall as they will or may, let the chips go, um, you will see that they are actually not who they proclaim themselves to be, and that will be very much helpful for you moving forward. Top and bottom. So you're gonna be able to move in a position that you thought you didn't, like you thought you lacked the resilience and the stamina and the vitality to go towards. Like well, where you said like you can't make it work because you don't have the energy or the resources, right? Or the talent or the gifts or whatever the fuck you said to yourself, that's where you're going to start being able to put effort in, but it is going to be like working from ground zero and taking up a beginner's mentality. It doesn't matter if you have a talent or a gift, you haven't committed to it this way before, so you are going to kind of like start with the one option of like just having this like one piece of focus and then having to just build off of it and branch out and see what happens and kind of like keep practicing and exercising this new beginning so you can see the difference in the result of creating it and doing it. Like this can grow out into an empire, but you do have to start where everyone else starts, which is at the ground zero beginning point, and things are still gonna work out surrounding this topic for you to keep going. You need to accept the point that it's never perfect when you start doing anything. You don't feel like it. Sometimes you don't feel strong enough, right? Other times it's kind of like there's a lot of things around you that aren't perfect or good enough for you to really like capitalize on what you want to like really make of yourself or create or where you want to invest your time, but you do it anyway. You find a way. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, then you don't. If you give up on yourself, that's also like the point of it. But here it's kind of like don't give up on yourself. Do it even though it might be a bit discomfortable or uncomfortable. Discomfortable, that's not a word. Because you're going to invent something new, like new words, that aren't going to be quite right at the beginning, but they have a huge potential in not just giving you experience, but providing a deeper sense of like commitment and understanding to yourself, to your new life, to this whole thing. And I think it's really going to be fun for you to see how like everything you let go of is actually a proper trade-off to having like the economy you need to keep going in your life towards the things you want. Because I think previously you did not have that. You were always like on empty. Everything was kind of like lackluster and not adding up. People were kind of being dicks about things and more self-involved than involved about your things. You weren't getting the necessary attention or success. And now it's all shifting because you made the decisions and the choices that really matter. So keep focusing on the present moment and doing this, daydreaming about the future and knowing that whatever you're doing currently right now from inspiration is going to bring in interesting results and you will see some weird social details and gimmicks and somehow this is like setting you up for the next 3 years in terms of a cycle. Sorry, I just had like a pressure change in my right ear. So some of you, I don't know why, 3 years timeline changes. So current timeline change is leading to a timeline change in 3 years. So keep perspective, but don't escape to the future, I guess. And know it's okay to start where you're starting at. Even if you feel silly for it or like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Life's kind of full of that emotion, right? So I think that's everything. Yeah. So thank you for getting this reading, spending your time here, and I really appreciate your presence and your energy. And I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day and time. And I hope to see you again. See ya. Hello, pile number two. You are coming out of some self-limiting beliefs and a frozen up time. What you don't expect is for your whole life to change because of the internal shifts and the changes in perspective that are currently happening right now. Maybe you have been on the spiritual journey for a long while, but you've never really believed the immense, significant, big changes that can occur if you just shift the way you think and say stuff to yourself and how you look at life and or yourself or the circumstance. You've really achieved something of like a change within yourself and it goes deep to your core. It's like an inherent bedrock change, like it's a baseline shift completely. Like you've shifted your frequency and vibration into a whole new like amplitude, a whole new paradigm, a whole new way of living, being, sounding, feeling. Um, It's a good way to describe it is like, there's different frequencies of light and color. If you shift the, frequency of the light, you shift the color as well. And this is literally how you've done it. You've jumped light cones or light frequency to a point where you're seeing something you've never even conceived to be existent. Um, and it's especially going to affect you and how you feel about yourself, but then also how you express yourself and go forward with life. You're going to be able to face your fears, think of like new ways to move forward, and actually like start believing in yourself and achieving your dreams. It's gonna be a slow realization process, but you are going to be able to start seeing like your life actually like change in practical ways. You're gonna have like random opportunities possibly show up, and then you're gonna pick the one that you need and want. You're gonna see how conversations with people go differently comparatively to how they went previously. You're going to see certain people fall out of your life and instantly someone new show up. Um, you're gonna see opportunities on actually moving. If you've been like checking out listings and nothing's been adding up, you might find the perfect place for the perfect price out of nowhere, and you've been at it for months maybe. You get a recognition or promotion or gift at your job. Like there could be a lot of little things, but there could be major shifts as well. It depends on who you are and where you're at and how far gone you roll into like this new perspective shift and getting out of like frozen mode. Because it does feel like you've been frozen beforehand, and now it's like light bulbs went off, and then you changed yourself inside, and you decided like not anymore. Like I think I'm done with this. Like naturally, I can't even go back even if I wanted to. I don't feel like I've felt before. I don't feel like the same person. I don't have the same realizations about life. Like it's just day and night, over possibly like what feels like a day or a week, but really you've been working at this for what it actually is, like 2 years or something. I don't know what clicked in 2 years ago. I'm seeing like 2023 precisely. April, May perhaps. More so April, March for some of you. Like this time, yeah, 2 years ago, but something it's like the ball dropped on something and you were like, fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm doing something different and I'm living my life the way I need to. I'm getting to where I'm gonna feel like this or start accepting this part of myself. It's a bit scary at the same time. I can sense that too. Because you feel like you're kind of alone in yourself and finding this out. Like it's not really making sense to other people, even if you tried to talk to them, but I think it's kind of like you've not really even bothered because you understand it's just not going to work. Why try and explain something so unseen and personal to someone that's never even tried to do this journey by themselves without the support of the external or it making sense, you know? Okay, let's get the universe has your back. Oop, okay. Reverse or upright, upright, okay. So chakra realignment is really calling to me as above, so below is also calling to me. This serene pleasure in life is gonna come through a lot more too. Like something about something about like you being able to see the horizon again and appreciate like the clouds or the sunsets or the dusk or whatever. Even if it's like cloudy and fucking raining, you still appreciate it instead of just being a thing. Maybe you notice that your eyesight is a little bit sharper or your smell is more acute. Maybe when it rains, you can smell like the freshness a lot more, right? Either from like grass, dirt, or concrete or whatever. Maybe you can feel like small details that are like nice a lot better. Like I don't know, soft, cozy sheets, right? when you're waking up or falling asleep, or music feels and sounds better to you. Uh, Movies, video games, books, comics are way more enjoyable than just like brain numbing, like being lost in it and then coming out of it and it's like, that happened, or it didn't really register so much or hit, or it was just like a time lapse thing. It wasn't something you were actually enjoying presently and being engrossed in. Conversations with people, buying groceries can even just be like, oh, this is nice. This is the vibe today, you know? I appreciate this. This is good. Anything and everything might start becoming way more fun and pleasurable and present and feel grounded to you. And it's like there there's gonna be obviously like moments where you have like maybe a little bit more of a somber tune or mood, but mostly that's only gonna be a moment because it's like what is it, melancholy and nostalgia hitting, and it's kind of like just a moment of release. It just kind of like it's like a bloop and then it goes away, and it feels like because your chakras keep like rippling something out, it's kind of like an easy purge. You're not gonna be feeling like very big shadow work or anything. It's just like if you have those dips, you're gonna dip out of it quite relatively easily or quickly or soon. Because it's just you releasing something from the energy body, from the chakra system, and it realigning naturally to like your highest form or your best self or your healthiest like balance. So yeah, you're gonna start seeing like life in a lot more of a magical way. Something about stars, maybe you're gonna be looking at a specific constellation quite regularly right now, or a star that's like really standing out to you in the night sky regularly. Something about its transition in the sky is gonna pull your attention to it, and or you could see just flying things in the sky that aren't airplanes. Some of them might be satellites, some of them might not be. But either way, when I lean on the certainty of faith, I change my mind about the world I see. It feels to me like you're just gonna be noticing more magic, and you're going to have like a clear, like a clarity around it. Somehow you're gonna connect with it. Maybe you're not gonna be quite thoughtful or feeling a lot about it. Maybe you're gonna have questions, but there's gonna be this soul recognition with these random occurrences of presence and magic and seeing like, I don't know, invisible things occur, flying objects in the sky, stars could feel like they're talking to you. You might see like wisps or ghosts or flying stuff in the night. Like not the bad type. Don't get freaked out. If you don't want that, you don't need to experience that. But this is for the people that are opening up to psychic abilities and are okay with that, or people that are just like looking for that sense of magic and happiness, and the mundane being, kind of like surreal. Like magical can be literal magic, but also magical sometimes it's a romanticized way of expressing how life feels, right? So either way, whichever one floats your boat, you're gonna be starting to sense that more. But also, your third eye is opening regardless. That just kind of clicked into me. Like I'm like, ah, wait, your third eye, right? Okay, okay, okay. So you have a third eye opening occurring. Don't strain yourself is the only thing I recommend with that. But let yourself like, see that romantic side of life or magic or experience the paranormal and get used to it and comfortable. Reflect and see the world through this new scope and awe and like really trust yourself where you're taking yourself because you're taking yourself somewhere. You're dancing with your higher self as well as with the universe. And it's like a swirl. You can get lost in it and you'll be safe. You'll be like covered in this fabric of actual like love, love, romance, magic, poetry, whatever, word suits you for that experience. But you will feel it. You will feel it. You might just have these random moments of where you're present, quiet, just reflecting, just like actually like taking things in, right? Looking around and your whole body relaxes, like everything relaxes. You're emotionally more relaxed, mentally you shut the fuck up out of nowhere, and your body like actually is like, this is good. This is great. So yeah, trust yourself and where you're taking yourself because it's a ride, but it's a good ride. And it's worth it. A lot of people envy people that feel like this in life, to be fair. Like they always wonder like how can I get here and what can I do? And it's like, well, you kind of just, make your way here. You trust yourself in the process and you do what you need to, break through your own limitations and where you're afraid to expand. And you did that. You did that. Your higher self is also doing something like in terms of growth and learning with this, so that's commendable. Yeah, you let yourself be empowered by the new shift in perspective and the new life that you're gonna be living, because you kind of it feels like you need to fill up the fuel bucket with confidence. It's not to scare you, but you do need to do that. I don't know what the fuck is up on the adventure, but adventure includes a bunch of things, right? It's not just up and good and good. That would be boring. Adventure has possible misfortune, misadventure, a little case of like a little bit of like, achievement and treasure hunting and other things and meeting like fairies and freaking princes or princesses, kings and queens and other things in fairy tale lands. But there's also possibly like monsters and other stuff, right? And like hero's journey missions and other stuff. Like, yeah, you're gonna have an adventure when this romanticized dreamscape is over. So keep getting courageous and trusting yourself and getting to know that feeling basically. Yeah, you're just gonna have like a foundation of like intuition to follow or go by. Like you're gonna have this extra sense. You know how some people have, well, obviously there's psychics as an example, but there's also people that have just good instincts. Other people just have really good gut feelings or sense vibes, and they're not even like really spiritual or anything. There's other people that have this sight on certain things, like even if you're a mathematician, right? You might just see things out of nowhere, like in a way that really helps you like navigate reality and the physical world. Same goes for different types of people that have different types of vision, and it's unexplainable. It just is. It can be feelings or otherwise. You're going to have a foundation of intuition that is going to be leading you and is going to be like kind of connecting you to higher points of consciousness and understanding that and living with that, and it is going to merge with your identity. You're not going to be the same person in the upcoming whatever amount of time. So yeah. Okay, let's pull more cards. Yep. Okay, you got a lot of cards. So let's just start with these, and then we'll move on to the bottom and the top, because you got two for the top. So, another part of your intuition is actually going to show and explain humanity's suffering and how people are in their way and what is the truth of like healing and happiness and joy and what is the downfall of it, but also not it. So the downfall of people like seeking that constantly and only being happy, happy, joy, joy, and stuff like that, one-sided, and how there's also a downfall in not seeking it and not embodying it and not believing it. So it's not gonna be easy for you to explain. I think you're just gonna understand it and see it for a while, and then eventually you'll be able to talk about it more. Like, yeah, when you see things, maybe you can actually talk to them, but a lot of the time it might fall flat either because of the people you're talking to or because it's just hard to really make it click. Because it's not a concept, it's seeing reality for what it is without the veil on a certain level. I don't know, something about it's gonna remove like more sacral energy blockages too, but also like push you forward to create something awesome with that feeling and energy too. So yeah. The presence of love will always cast out fear. So this pink moon, you will understand how you're holding yourself back from all of this. Like you're holding yourself from being a healer, and it doesn't need to be witchy woo woo. It doesn't need to be like a counselor or a medic or a clinician. It's just, some people are just nice to be around and they're healing. And ultimately, like all of us kind of have that capacity. And on a level, if we're aligned, we just vibrate at a level where we are healing and we're just being ourselves. We don't need to really intend that. If you do want to be a healer, this then still recognizes that too. But this is for the people that aren't like really seeking that. It's kind of like we're all trying to become healthy cells in the ecosystem of existence, in the ecosystem or body of life. So yeah, something will show you that. I feel like I need to read that because some of you are wondering what the hell this says. I don't think I read it. The presence of love will always cast out fear. So yeah, something about that will become very apparent during this pink moon. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. This is just like reaffirming the presence and the happiness and the joy aspects of it, but it's also kind of a reminder to enjoy the peace and serenity and the surrender to life the most you can currently, because you just need to just be. You don't need to do anything else during this period of like chill, love, presence, breaking through to the other side. Your adventure will start in due time. This moment is not to necessarily do a lot and milk it, it's to live and experience and express and just be happy for what it is until, like, wabam, stuff just starts shifting even more so. Um, it's kind of like being born again, but you're not quite like running around and living just yet. You're still kind of like, oh wow, okay, I'm in a new world. Where the fuck did I just come from? Where am I? What's happening? Type of vibe, you know? True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. This is like when I don't want to have I don't want to mention something. It's not bad, it's just this is such a positive message. I don't necessarily, yeah, sometimes I want to make it one-sided, but I'm not supposed to. It's just I'm the messenger, I don't want to manipulate messages, but you might fight becoming a healer. You might fight feeling that truth of like how people run away from pain and growth just to like over explain and over explain and rationalize and prove that they are okay and just being stuck in pain and being stuck in that mentality and never being quite happy, or for actually trying to run away into constant pleasure and happiness and doing the same thing. Like that suffering thing that we were speaking about, humanity suffering, you will get annoyed at that. You will not want to see that, and you will try to remove it from your experience and process and like maturing, but you can't. It's actually a part of your family lineage. There's something that your family actually can do. They've just not been doing it because it's too painful to be connected to the earth and to humans and to what the reality is really about. It's painful for everyone. It's not just painful for you and your family, but this is a necessary gift, And more of us actually have that than people expect. Like we humans are actually quite empathetic in nature. They should be quite aware of each other, even if they can't necessarily feel each other directly like empaths do, right? Some empaths literally can heal and move energy and do like it's kind of like symbiotic healing and hold presence where others can't in multitudes of ways, and it's very surreal, but ultimately every human has a capacity of recognition and being like connected. It's kind of like tissue in a way, right? Tissue is connected. One part of your hand can feel the other hand part of the hand that's in pain. It's all like interconnected and registered, and also even amongst like different fabrics. Um, it's not just the nerves, right? It's like a whole freaking system within the body. This is the same. Like maybe even if it doesn't register it the same way or send signals the same way, this is kind of like a part of how you and your family tree has needed to operate, but has really had struggles and difficulties in opening up to that. So yeah. Um, you're still gonna find a way to go past the limitation of not wanting to really feel this type of stuff and like go here. You're gonna accept the point of like, yeah, okay, I can still really be free and express myself, but also like really hone in my talents, desires, and goals and I can live my life succeeding in it without being overwhelmed by these understandings or senses that are unlocking. Like I can make something work with this. I think you're still gonna turn it around and understand you don't need to run away from it. When I focus my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So you're gonna be fine, but at times I think you might just question like why aren't things perfect then? Like if I can feel this way and everything's fine and etc. and everything has meaning and a purpose, like why isn't it unanimous? Why isn't the world like this? Like you're gonna have a lot of questions of why isn't it better than it is to be human and alive and on this planet? Why are there so many issues? Yeah, I just feel like a lot of whys. I don't think you're necessarily going to be blaming or angry. At points, you might get a bit pissed or disgruntled, or like everything can just be like universal happiness and paradise. How come we've never focused ourselves towards that? And it's easier to fall down from that like path or understanding. So that's just again leading you onward to more answers, right? Don't get bogged down by that notion. Keep enjoying yourself. Don't give in to like the despair of it, because it's good to question, but sometimes questioning can lead us to ignoring our own purpose of joy and that doesn't help anyone. The more people enjoy themselves as they are curious and questioning and okay to experience the complex array of feelings and really gain consciousness, the better it is because we do need people being happy as well. They this is really important. It's really important. It's kind of like if you're happy for everyone, especially the people that aren't happy, that are struggling, that are having a bad time, even if they might attack you for it. It's just, it doesn't need to be like, oh, you need to like lower yourself down because of that. So keep it high vibe. Okay. Is there anything else, Spirit? I'm really being pushed to. Oh shit. Is that it? Yeah, so upright, new beginnings, the fool, and what's underneath that? Harmony. And what's underneath that? Inner guide. Okay, so yeah, just keep following the new beginning vibe. Like being born again. Keep following where you're being called to live, not looking back and like getting stuck. Don't get stuck. Don't look back. Don't try to figure shit out too much. Keep moving forward, keep letting like the energy flow. So, yeah. That is all I'm seeing for you. I hope that really helps. Numbers like 4455 might occur as well regularly for you. 8 as well as coming through. But I'm gonna leave it there. This was a really cool, nice, detailed reading. I really appreciate you getting the reading. I hope this was as fun for you as it was for me. And I hope to see you again. I hope to, yeah, see you again and have a good one. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, or have a good day coping if you need that too. So, see ya. Hello, pile number three. You got revolution, one for all. So the instant message I'm getting with this card and pile is you are currently going by yourself for yourself. Like instead of going with the masses or with the community or with the group or whatever, you're going for individuality. You may only be starting this journey and not liking the messages or the notions or the truth that is coming to you for you, because they might be like, oh, you have a traitor or a spy, or you don't understand someone's true intentions, or you need to let go of some people, cut them off. You need to disconnect, you need to distance yourself. Maybe even life is doing that to you currently in many different ways. You might get like headaches or sick or unpleasant, or just in general like crappy feeling or crappy attitude around certain people. Arguments might be flaring up out of nowhere. People might be accusing about like you about certain stuff that didn't even happen or what isn't really happening, but is subconsciously or indirectly occurring for your benefit. Uh, Trying to meet up, not working. Trying to connect together, not working. Trying to communicate, not working. Like that type of energy. And probably recurring signs, symbols, or synchronicities about that. You might remember certain people that you have in your life, and it's kind of like there's this dread or breakup experience that just like washes over you, or like you know that everything is temporary and every relationship is temporary. If you're obsessing about that, even more so true. The recommendation that's coming through is like let it go because it's happening for you, and it's okay to grieve it and to be emotionally open with yourself, but you also need to release these people, like give back their energy. Some of you literally just were like, no, and that's okay, but at the same time, like, do it for your own self, for your own highest good. It also will help them because they need to claim their energy back so they can heal, so they can prosper, so they can grow and learn, and so you can do the same. It's not gonna be selfish or one-sided. It's being actually like respectful and having it on mutual understanding or ground, even if they're going to be mad or not understand it right away fully. Ultimately, it's healthy behavior that's just not commonly accepted within society. You're having troubles because you're holding on to their energy and you're also keeping parts of yourself with those people. You're like letting your energy stew a little bit around people so you can, have closure or kind of have these memories or see where you can kind of get stuck in their life in a little bit of a sense because some of these people are really close to you. They are very much important. They make you, remember all the good times. They make you feel special and like you're lucky, but at the same time, things haven't been fitting or working out for a really long time. And it's better to respect that because it's better for at least one person, if not everyone involved, to take accountability and responsibility and the maturity behind it of just letting life be what it is when it starts shifting and changing, than to try and force it together because you can't. That's how you actually force even more fighting and arguments, and then people start hating each other and blaming each other. And it's like, why? You've always been friends or you always loved each other, but in life, things are temporary. It's rare they stay around forever. Very, very rare. And it's better to like accept the part that you might have been in each other's like lives or how good your relationship is and was, and that it ran its course, you know, like it's better for things to end on a happy note than on a shitty bad note. Let's be honest. Imagine if every work you left was only dramatic leavings. Maybe some of you actually haven't had a good like peaceful like I quit. Oh, that's okay. Or is everything good? Like what do you have to comment about this? Oh, okay. Well, when are you leaving? Let's make it, work and comfortable and there's a whole party goodbye type of thing. Same goes for breakups, right? And maybe like losing friends and other stuff. It doesn't need to be shitty, basically. But I think some of your stuff has already started going sour and crappy, and it's just don't worry about it. It needs to happen. It's important to happen. I don't know, something about like my left shoulder is coming through. I don't know. That just kind of feels like a cord that needs to get cut. Yeah, that just feels like a cord or an attachment or like rubbing shoulders with someone. I don't know. Yeah, don't do that. Just cut the cord, let it be. Um, Actually, it's healthy to cut cords even with people that you are regularly connected with or to, just so you don't enmesh and get codependent and um like conditional. So you can actually like be respectful of each other and whole and holistic and like having healthy relationships with proper boundaries on both sides and respecting each other's like individuality and supporting like each other's lives as individual persons that have their own autonomy. um Everyone doesn't need to be like conjoined by the fucking hip type of thing. I think a part of you understands that there's going to be like a little bit of a domino effect. Like it's gonna change the whole group dynamic, friend dynamic, workplace, server or family scape or like community, literally like a big ass community. And you're just uncomfortable of being the first person that just officially makes it real and does something or breaks it off or stops communicating or engaging or starts moving a different direction because it's gonna be like you're calling it in, whereas you were actually trying to save it all just recently. I think this reading has helped in some way energetically, if not consciously, like directly accept this process and come to terms with it. Because at the beginning of the reading, I really felt a lot of heartache, and now I just feel like uncomfortable and fucking itchy and like shit, like shit, you know, I the feeling that I'm getting the most is like I really wanted to bridge things together. I wanted to make them work. I wanted all of this to be okay. I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I wanted to save this. I really wanted to save this. But I can understand I need to go my own way and a different direction and leave this where it lies. And I can wish the best for everyone involved, but I also can't be attached to that. I just need to let it be what it is. At the end of the day, you can't fight the universe type of thing, right? So I think it's gonna work itself out and you're coming to terms with it. So yeah, you're gonna find other and more people. Like it's just gonna be a shifting stage type of scenario. Don't worry about it. Don't ignore the emotions surrounding the situation. Like, yeah, at points if you need to compartmentalize or something, or like take it slow, or have one moment and then breathe and move on, and then have another moment and keep doing that, go ahead. But while you're changing and everything else is changing, you can't ignore how you need to process yourself and your emotions about it. You can't just be emotionally mute and go by logic or spiritual bypassing. I think you guys are actually really good at spiritual bypassing, which can sometimes be useful, but a lot of the time it's dangerous as shit. It's a dangerous game to play. And you can do portaling, But then, after you finish the portal session and you're in a different reality and timeline, you have unresolved baggage. And what the hell does that do for you? Well, nothing. It's not good for you. So don't do that. That's just calling you out if you've had the recurring theme of that, or why does this always happen to me, or you always are out of luck and like depressed and sad about things like not working out your way or the way you want it to, or when they change. Like it's okay, but you need to resolve the feelings alongside portaling and shifting and changing and going with life. And the way you do that is you sit with those feelings. You are present with them. You don't try and change them, talk them, control them, do anything with them. You just are present with it. You let it take its time. You don't sulk in it, and you just, just do that. Sometimes it's sitting with love while you're feeling those emotions, while you're sad, while you're sitting on reminiscing or reflecting in memories, whatever it is, sit with it and also show love if you need to. Sit in love or in the actual like experiences, and it'll be better in the long run. So interesting. Guide said we're gonna flip this up. That's very rare we do that in readings these days. I used to do it more so than nowadays. You're gonna skip a step. Because something about 61 and 50, so 6150, 6150. I don't know what the fuck is up with the numbers there. Yes, in a way it's progression, but it's more like coming back to basics or letting go of the burdens to go through actual like real change and transformation, something you really were attached to mothering, nurturing, like growing, developing, and you put your identity behind it too, like you put also like the result of it into the idea of like your achievement and success and what you wanted to make of yourself or your life, like that is going away so you can actually like be reborn or come into this new space of like what's next then, like where else am I gonna go be besides here, what can I do for myself. So interesting. So there's progressions of two. So it's kind of reminding me like when you skip like climbing stairs and you climb two instead of one. Um, and this is going to be a quicker transition than you think it is. Uh, Still, enjoy life in the present for what you can, but I think this is just letting you know like this is going to be actually quite quick. As well as you're going to get a hold of your boundaries or surroundings or how you need to move forward in life really snippety snap in a way. You're gonna have like this moment of releasing and grieving, and they're gonna then there's gonna be like this moment of like, okay, where else am I gonna go? And from what I can see, you are going to be quite balanced and well adjusted with your shadow as well. I don't know why or how, but you're not gonna leave anything unresolved within your emotions and senses. And with this process and just like the reflection process behind this or what transformation you're going through in life, the alchemy is going to be good. I mean, I was like, let's look at it. Uh, well, Jaguar is literally in this card, and I've never noticed the Hunter card having it, but it does, honestly. So that's good. Also, this is a 28, and this is a 5-5. Yeah, you're really gonna understand how this is building you to express yourself more and go forward in the life you've always wanted, but you were making it elsewhere where it wasn't fitting anyway. It was kind of just like letting everyone have this like springboard experience of them being launched into who they are, the life they're meant to be having and be a part of, and that was where you were just right now or where you are currently. It's like just this is a bit of a cauldron from which people will progress to where they are really meant to be. No, I guess that's it. I'm like, Spirit, is there anything else? And they're telling me like, no, it's done. This one's done. Very short and to the point, but fair enough. That's fine. Sometimes, we need it like that. So, yeah, hope you're having a good one. I appreciate you spending your time here. I hope this helps, and I appreciate, yeah, your vibes. Keep on vibing, and I hope to see you again in another reading. So, yeah. See ya. Hello, pile number 4. So as soon as I pulled this card down, I heard ready for liftoff, which is really goddamn cool, honestly. You're gonna look bootylicious and beautiful and prosperous and good. I wish I knew what the heck this was in the suitcase. It kind of looks like dough. Um, so cash money or stuff to create with. You're gonna have something fall in to help you actually move forward and start doing things, but you're still in the planning phase and being inspired and looking at where you're at and what you can actually make of what you still have and what you don't have and how it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Not in a negative, but like life is made up of pros and cons. We don't always know where we're being led by the things that do add up or they don't add up. I don't know why this thing reminds me of Towley from South Park, which is basically a pot smoking stoner towel that's just constantly doing drugs. I'm not seeing it as a negative though. It's like it's a rehabilitative version of that character. So I deep and philosophical, also recuperated from addictions, recovered from addictions, looking into creation and fantasy and what can occur if you kind of get your life in order and sort yourself out, and what life is really about. That it's not about like escapism and being high all the time. It's about having the prospect of life is life, it's existence, it's everything. It's a roller coaster. It can't just be one thing. You can't maximize its efficiency or productivity by just hyper focusing on controlling it to have a certain emotion all the time. That's not how it works. That's not how you make anything successful or work. It's about recognizing and realizing like you are your own main character, but the life and the story you live is also special and like unique and pertinent to you. Sometimes it's gonna be a real boring run. Other times it's fucking crazy. It could be a mixed bag of that, right? You never really know until you can kinda look back, right, and click into it or stop in the moments and be present and realize it by actually like lifting your eyes up from the book that you're trying to write or create or live through or read. Um, yeah, it's your time to shine. You will be illuminated. You will stand out. You will find leadership. You will have opportunity, and you will actually have something to stand on. This is just a temporary stunt and run, and you really coming through into like a whole new world. This is just temporary. Like you're pitching a tent, you're about to actually move into a house. There's gonna be more players that show up in the fold or in the game too. but some of them need to be left alone because you're still kind of like recognizing and realizing you're the main character. Cause sometimes it does dawn on people like, oh yeah, I am my own like only person. I only have to deal with myself in life and no one else ever. In a way, like you're always gonna need to just be accountable with yourself. And I am my own main character in my own main life, right? Like there's no other life I'm living, and there's no other character in my life like this. But it takes time to really reverberate and feel like it clicks in, like it really makes an imprint and an impact, and you can't get away from that understanding, sense, and way of living. You're still lost in ideas and in the cloud. You're about to like really kind of come down from there. And there's going to be a lot of light bulb moments. Color blue, light blue, cyan might be very like kind of either important or special or relevant to you. It could also just be special and unique to you. It could reference something that is very important to you. Whatever it is, yeah. Also, this guy kind of like, I don't know why it's coming through, but I know he's probably in sweats. I don't freaking know for sure. I haven't read this card yet from the guidebook, but he always reminds me of having I can't remember what the hell the name is, and I did go into karate. The freaking outfit. What is it called? I can't remember it, but the freaking karate suit, the top and the bottom, the pants and the coat. Um, if it looks or feels to me sometimes like that's what he's wearing, and you could look at it multiple different ways depending on how it resonates to you, right? It can be that he's getting ready for a actual tournament, training session, traditionally or ceremonially, he's getting ready to that for that, whatever it is, right? Could be that he's being initiated for a different level, a higher up, like an evolution thing. That feels the most resonant to me, but if any of the other ones apply to you, or it's multiple, pick and choose, but it feels like you're then being initiated into a higher rank of wherever you are, whatever you're doing, or just possibly plainly in life as well. So congratulations on that. That's really cool. Something about music. I don't know what. Okay, so you guys have not had an easy coming up to this point. You haven't had it easy. Something has happened in the recent like 2, 3 years. Some of you I heard it goes back to eight. I mean, maybe you are one of those people that is a whole lifetime type of thing, but I think it's mentioning that scape of time for a reason. Cycles are important, and time frame is also relevant. So whenever you're seeing that's the time frame backwards, you need to look to. If you are seeing it right now, then it is something about like spring, summer, um, to 2, 3 years back. It feels like 2, 3 years back, or even 8 years back. I don't know, something you've actually completed is now really clicking in, but also like a big betrayal that you've been carrying on since your youth or childhood or teenage years or college, or that's really hit you in some type of like state of your own childlike nature is going to become reprimanded. Something that has broken your dreams, or a vision of a perfect happy home life, or a routine or tradition that would really like particularly make you feel satisfied with life and just enjoying it and living it to the fullest is going to be proven right to be the right feeling, but what you experienced was obviously not the right thing for it to be real. You can experience what you want, you will have it, but it's kind of like you needed to not only let go of everything you were working on and believed in currently right now and going forward, but also in like constantly trying to like round it off and finalize it or somehow like make it work or make sense of it or connect the dots or oh, some of you it's also like about realizing about if you show up in the world, if people start actually loving and recognizing you for what you do or create, right? It's not going to make you feel any better. It's not going to provide happiness. You doing what makes you happy and experiencing yourself that way was always the key. It wasn't other people and how they would treat you over it or besides it or despite it. It was always just you achieving your happiness and goals and dreams. And then, the people related to you resonating with them and actually being of love and connection, that does matter, but that's different. That's relationships and being happy and connected in love, not being validated by how people treat you because you actually are achieving and doing something that is your dream. Those things need to find their own place in your life. They're different parts of the holistic view of being whole. Um, it's like different pieces and slices of the pie. It's different cogs in the wheel. It does different things and purposes behind it are significant and not the ways you thought before. So, and this comes from like a whole childhood psychology thing of not being seen or respected or supported in dreams, but I digress. That doesn't feel like it's important to the message. If it is to you, check it out, like check other readers out and read about it or journal about it. It'll definitely like make a lot of sense to you. Some of you already know this, so that's why we're gonna move on. But this planning and creating point or cycle is going to be really cathartic to you because it's going to be like really putting things in the right drawers and shelves and everything in your mind and brain and heart. It's while you're like looking into the future and making this plan and looking to what you can do in the present and like kind of like getting ready, right? Your life starts flashing before your eyes and making sense. And it's kind of cathartic because you switch out one thing and something else falls into that space or place while you're making a whole game plan moving forward. If you're making like visualization practices, mind maps, life maps, what the hell is it when you like do stuff with magazines and pictures and collages, right? Is that what they're called? If you do collages, if you even if you doodle and journal stuff, right? Do creative writing, anything. If you've been doing something like that while visualizing a new life in any way, it's it's really clicking into it. It's really also clicking it into your life. So, yeah. You might look a bit smug and overly confident to some people, but that's their problem. They're projecting onto you if they see you that way. Even if you are that way, it doesn't matter. It's not about that. Like, you can be happy and confident about yourself and brave. Why shouldn't you be, right? Especially coming out of whatever betrayal you've just come out of. That's a big thing, honestly. Um, some of your childhood friends or people from school might just pop up out of nowhere. If you don't care, just don't engage. I would recommend just leaving them where they are, because people might just react to your different energy and frequency and like try and find like an empty spot to start materializing or like coming into your actual reality. And it's kind of gonna bring your timeline down because you can't pull them up. Like these people, you can't pull them up. None of them have really done any really significant work for themselves. Otherwise, they wouldn't try and like catch a ride on you, right? You know what I mean? So, what else, Spirit? Okay, we're gonna do also the universe has your back deck. The universe has your back. Okay. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. I choose to learn through love, and when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. I shuffled this, so you might be connected to. If you've seen these cards, you've seen them. That's all I'm gonna say. That being said, there's a lot of like heart space stuff happening currently right now, which is telling me like just a friendly like warning, nothing to bring you down or like engage shadow work or anything else. Like if you notice yourself kind of getting too lost in work or in the mindscape or just getting stuff done and trying to get checklists and stuff like that, let it go. This is an emotional journey. You got to take the boat, you know, um, through your own like rivers and oceans and valleys and whatever it is. You have to actually like let yourself go through the surrendering of feelings and memories and kind of like falling into peace through facing some uncomfortable truths and emotions and memories and then choosing love no matter what happens because I think it's just hard to really like sit with some of the stuff you've experienced and to just let it be and to then come out of it still supporting yourself and still being happy. I feel some of that stuff really like might accidentally come out of left view and smack you across the face and like daze you and really knock the wind out of you. But it's also because like if you stuff it down, it needs to come back up somehow. So let it let it flow, let it occur, and then keep, vibing in and out of it. Like you have a little bit of a moment like that, and don't sit there all day or all week. Just have that hour, 2 hours, maybe a few minutes and come back into making stuff, creating stuff, and looking to the future. But you just need to give it a bit more presence and then love yourself regardless of how you feel about it, however you react to it, what you remember say, or how you cringe or feel embarrassed or hate, just love that part. Like respond to it with love. You don't need to instantly stop feeling it or ignore it or shift it out of it or anything. It's not bad. It's just processing emotions. Especially if you have some grief, because some idea of grief just came through, and grief is really, really like hard to deal with. It's a really long thing that like long thing to heal. Like it takes a while, and you can't rush it. It's its own process. It is what it is. The heart wants what the heart wants, and it needs what it needs. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. So this is just talking to like you staying confident and believing and trusting the process. I feel like you're a pretty, I don't know, somehow you've been knocked down enough times to know how to assess reality in a practical, rational way, even when you are going towards achieving like dreams or fantasy or something that is like high expectations or goals, without just having those expectations and being like, oh yeah, yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. Like you have some type of like ability or truth of possibility of how to be confident about things just working out. and life giving you what you're working towards, and it just being like this resonance of maturing and developing and growing in the world and the ecosystem of the universe. That magic can happen and it just occurs, but you do need to also like obviously have faith and confidence and trust in that regardless of what you're going through, right? You can't just set a goal and be like that's definitely going to work and I'm definitely going to achieve it. In this case, it's like you know that what you're going to go towards is always going to be the right thing for you if you just do it out of love and also the certainty and faith behind it for yourself, but also the universe. So keep doing that. If you pray or work with like God or deities or goddesses or something like that, like keep on doing that. If you do that to your ancestors, fair enough as well. Higher self for somehow someone just came through too. Like I'm always listening is how I felt about that. And I'm kind of like supporting you through this process as well. Don't forget yourself and that you can achieve anything as long as you truly know that to be true. Um, okay, so that's everything. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps you. I hope, you know, this has like I feel like this might have just reminded you of some things or like reassured you of certain truths. Maybe you don't expect this to work out as well as it's going to work out. I don't know. I feel like there's some bits hidden here, but I gotta keep it the way it is. So I'm gonna go on to pile number 5, and I hope this, yeah, was enjoyable. And I hope to also see you again, and I wish you a lot of like peace, prosperity, and blessings, and hopefully see you next time. Hope, 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 hope. Keep on the hope. Hello, pile number 5. You got the observer asking questions, collecting data, but it's reversed. Um, you're taking you're taking the wrong approach to seeing something or observing something. You got to look at it from a different angle because something is coming at you and it is the right answer, but you're not looking at it the right way. So it doesn't look like the answer you're looking for that is actually helpful for you or is actually going to make sense. So you're not really expecting it to work out, but it is gonna. You're gonna have more success than you initially thought with something. You don't need to be so heavy about it. Just let go a little bit and let yourself like flow and see where the universe guides you to do what. Maybe some of the messages you're getting are going to start making more sense. I heard that this is reversed, so we're gonna have it reversed. I choose love no matter what. Yeah, the energy I'm getting with this pile is like tense and anxious and overthinking and kind of like it's kind of like when you are thinking over and over again, how are you gonna pay for your rent or bills? And you're like you keep recounting the money and looking at where you can get more money or where you're gonna get the money you expect, and then you're like drafting these fucking mind maps in your head about like where you spend it, how you spend it, where you go to save or whatever. It doesn't need to just be about money, but it feels like work, money, project success, career deadlines, people and like people as resources for something you need to do or to gather an event for or group together for. Um, you're an analytical person that goes by facts and numbers and statistics. You don't like you even though obviously you're on a damn tarot reader reading and everything else, and maybe you read tarot yourself or I don't know. This is coming across as You usually go by analytics, by hard facts, by woo-woo stuff last. If it or if it really smacks you in the face, then you're like, yeah, I can't deny that. That was fucking weird. Um, maybe you are a spiritual person, but either way, it's saying like this reading, the energy that's coming through is like go by facts, analytics, don't woo-woo the stuff that shouldn't be woo-wooed. Go by real practical terms and realistic assessment of that truth. Be rational. Don't get ahead of yourself by just believing in spirituality, magic, or energy. Like that doesn't serve anyone in the real world. Anyway, you can't succeed by just love. You can't expect yourself to be happy by prioritizing such concepts instead of actually going by what matters in just real hard freaking core cash. And if you aren't this type of person, there's been a time where you were like that and it's coming through that it's holding you back, basically. And I think you just don't want to face that truth that you're a bit too strict with yourself and you're not giving enough room for faith and the possibility of like things working out miraculously or magically or like blessings and miracles really doing their part and being a part of your life and you being a spiritual being having a human experience. And the card literally says, like, I'm a spirit having a human experience and I'm here to get closer to love. But it's really fun how in this card as well, it's if it's reversed, it's basically a person having closed eyes and they're speaking what they're saying in a way that's just like what they see with their eyes, you know? They only speak truth or say that things work out as they see them, as they can like tangibly put it together. The real world is only what you can what see, touch, taste, hear, stuff like that, right? Whereas really, it's not like that. It's so much more than that. You can close your eyes to the real world and you can still live it quite vivaciously for some reason is the word that came through. It's really weird. This pile is really hard to channel and talk to. I keep needing to close my eyes to focus on the fucking message, because otherwise it escapes me, I stutter, and it gets blocked. And I sometimes have an issue with that, but this pile is even more so like that. If I had to put it in energetic astral sense ways for maybe some psychics of you, it's gonna make sense. It's literally like having a fucking hat on everything, so much so I can barely process. My third eye is covered, my freaking crown isn't connecting fully. I can't hear, I can't see. In real life terms, it would be like having like a hat with those headphones. Okay, I'll take it back. It's like having a bandit hat and you have like pitch black sunglasses and it's goddamn night and you have that like those headphones for shooting ranges as well. So you can barely hear, you can barely see. You don't feel like the temperature or if it's like drizzling, raining properly at all as well. Like nothing, not the wind, you just or the nothing. It just it doesn't you're just completely covered in every sense and way and your senses are dulled because of it as well. And if you're not used to that, then you can't sense yourself in a room or in the space. You don't know what temperature it is. You might even miss if someone's around you, right? You might not actually notice or know that they are there. You will not click onto it. So Remember, you don't need to be like super unique, special, or a psychic or extrasensory or have an intuition or be really like hyper aware of things, even just logically and practically. Sorry, that was my camera. I'm gonna actually give it a quick charge. Yeah, you don't need to always be on top of your game to actually succeed in life. If if that was the only answer on how to survive, a lot of us would just be running on empty, like constantly very malnourished, stressed out, anxious, depressed, and a lot of people are like that, but they also aren't necessarily succeeding now, aren't they? They might have resources or some other stuff worked out for them, but happy people, they don't need to constantly keep a check on things or be on top of things or have everything that they need or conventionally or said to need to be happy, right? Um, some people are way more fulfilled emotionally at the soul and also in terms of like a good lifestyle that fits them without having a lot of money, without having a fucking condo in New York or whatever it is, right? Or being top dog in corporate lifestyle and like work and stuff like that. You don't need to be great at the specifics to always be great in life. You don't need to be perfect logically and in the mind. You don't need to have everything sorted. You don't need to control. You don't need to control. Stop trying to control things and manipulate them to fit and be perfect and for it to never escape you. And I need to be secure, secure, secure. Like that's where this is coming from. You feel like you need to be secure. What do you need to be secure from? Why do you feel that way? Can you really not achieve it in any other way except for being this stressed out and anxious? Because I swear there's so much anxiety and stress coming through with this. If you don't feel it and you're just numbed out and emotionally like zapped out and kind of in this like state of shock and like not even being an emotional person, this is probably because you're constantly running on some type of anxiety or attentiveness and control and the need to be secure and proper and perfect. Create with joy. Everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna be fine. You don't need to be so stressed. You don't need to be looking to the future. You don't need to know where the answers are coming from. You don't need to know how they're gonna work out. You don't need anything except to just keep on walking and take the next best step. I feel like Spirit has taken you off the fucking wheel and they're gonna do what they gotta do because you're already so tapped out of everything as well as yourself that anything can happen in your life, any type amount of order or chaos can occur without you actually being like a conscious co-creator. And the only thing you're currently doing is probably manifesting more anxiety, negativity, or pain within either your joints or sleeping schedule or emotional well-being or mental well-being. Like physically, you might be even affecting yourself, but in terms of your life, like worrying about it isn't going to change the outcome that spirit has arranged, and it is success. It is like saving your ass out of like wherever you feel like it's grass and just letting you have that respite, but you're not going to feel that until it happens for a fact, and I feel like this is just going to be a lesson that you're going to learn. And it doesn't always happen. Once you do get to a point of being a conscious creator, you can manifest some issues. Maybe you're gonna have like some stress that's nonsensical and unnecessary in the future just to be evidence on like why always like be prepared for the worst or need to control statistics of your life when you can just be living it and kind of try and create from joy. Live from joy, choose to be from love, understand that you are a spirit having a human experience and you're figuring out these knots of connection and disconnection and just like see how you can actually be a co-creator and manifester in it instead of feeling like you're at the whims of life all the time and everything's just like crashing waves all around and like hold on, this is alright. I'm not okay. This is gonna crash. It's not gonna crash, you're fine. Spirit's gonna sort everything out, and then you're gonna eat your words, and you're gonna be like, that was silly. Why the fuck did I do that again? I did not feel good for the last however amount of weeks, days, months. Months. Some of you have been stressed out for months. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's not how you live a happy life. I don't care how much money you're earning to get this result or to like how much you're stressing to get this result is not worth it because you can just have things work out without stressing over them. You're gonna figure it out. It's gonna take some time. Retrace your steps. Who made you feel like you need to constantly be counting shit, in control of stuff, um, attentive all the time, logical only, smarts only. You don't get anything in this world if you don't take it or don't control it or don't use just your logic and close down everything else. It's all about the mind type of thing. Like you don't get dreamy, don't get lovey-dovey, don't get joyful too much. Like you might lose your edge type of thing. You always got to get results, otherwise you're gonna be left behind and you're gonna be seen as useless. Interesting. My guides wanted one deck, and then I kind of heard like creator vibes say, no, let's go for tarot. So I'm gonna go by the creator. My guides are cool, but I'm sorry. So you're alchemizing Ten of Cups reversed into the Page of Pentacles, basically. You're releasing family and childhood trauma of having to be this certain way to succeed or achieve in any possible way. You're releasing all of those hang-ups of like this is the only way to survive and live and otherwise you're going to be left behind in life, and you're shifting it out into taking a new approach to abundance, taking a new approach to how you succeed, how you have enough money to feed yourself, how do you have enough to pay your bills, how can you be independent and still strong and have enough if you take a different, more chill approach. How do you do that? You're going to learn and you're going to observe it actually working in action, and there's going to be evidence behind it. And eventually the training wheels will be taken off, but currently I feel like Spirit is going to save you a lot of heartache and stress and issues and like blame of either society or some other stuff not working out or yourself as well or like your family circumstances or living arrangement. It's all going to shift out and be like evidence, like things can work out in an easier way. You gotta just learn and also start at a little bit less than what you're used to. Spend less, maybe just learn how you live the same life with less money. I don't know, something along those lines. How you can buy more efficiently, choose different places for products, like this is definitely like a big poverty, fear mentality and lack of abundance, fear and how do you still keep like the same social class or above norm? How do you not like fall into detriment? How do you live affluently or successfully? How do you achieve that? How do you not lose that? That's all we're gonna talk on this time because I feel like it's a little bit loopy because of all of the tension and anxiety. Um, I hope this helps a little bit with it because this is a lot. And I do wish you a lot of like prosperity and abundance and success and peace and for things to just be okay and better because obviously they've not been easy at some point for you to have this fear or for it just, yeah, it might have been stressful in many a different way. But it will work out and you'll be happier over it, and it's just it's taking its time the way it needs to. So, yeah, have a good one. I hope to see you again, and I really appreciate you spending your time and getting this reading. And yeah, yeah, see ya next time.